Hi everybody and welcome. Today I'm going to take you on a driving tour. I'm going to show you the main shopping area in Topeka, Kansas that runs from Southwest 10th and Wanamaker through Southwest 29th Street in Wanamaker. It is one long strip and it has a variety of stores. It's fairly nice and I just want to give you an idea of what shopping is like if you come to Topeka, Kansas. So we have entered the main portion of shopping in Topeka, Kansas. And this goes from Southwest 10th Wanamaker up to Southwest 29th Wanamaker. And as you can see, there's basic, average, everyday stores here. We have Academy, we have Joann's, we have Baumgart's, which is a animal feed store, garden store. We even have a Sleep Number bed store here. Basically, the strip is about, 20 blocks long where all the shopping center is. There is even a mall that is not fully functioning right now. It's called the Westridge Mall. It has some stores in it, but it's well maintained and it's not scary at all. The lights are on. There's a security guard and everything is beautifully kept there, but it is a very limited mall as far as what you're going to find as far as shopping. There are only kids stores there basically, like Spencer's, Hot Topic, Zoomies, Journeys. But there is a Dillards, which you will find will have your higher end merchandise, and there is still a JCPenney there. The Macy's closed down, and obviously Sears is now defunct, so they don't have either of those stores there. So there are two big gaps at that mall. I'm driving actually south on Wanamaker. This is about noontime, midday on a Thursday. So this will give you an idea of the kind of traffic flow that we have in Topeka. It's not very busy. It's, a small town, 120,000 people. But we do have a Sam's Club and a Walmart like every other town will have. They're right here on the right. Panera Bread is here as well. We have independent or not so well-known chains like Jose Peppers if you want Mexican food, as well as Golden Corral up ahead. This is the Walmart parking lot, and believe it or not, they actually have electric car charging stations in their parking lot, which is a good thing. The Sam's Club is next to the Walmart, as it seems they usually are. I'm going to take a ride through here and show you that on the other side. This is all on Wanamaker, by the way. I just pulled off into their shopping center to show you. There is a couple of other stores. One of them is a Barnes & Noble booksellers, which I find that they've been one of the few strongholds as far as paperback books that have held on as long as they have. This over here on the right is a bus depot for the public buses. We do have lots of public buses here for public transportation. So if you don't have a car, there is an opportunity to take the metro. This is our Barnes & Noble over here. And it has a little coffee shop, although I don't believe it's considered a Starbucks anymore. They just sell Starbucks coffee. And here's a Kohl's, which it always seems to do well. And they've taken over the Sephora line. They're no longer, I think, in JCPenney's. They now have the franchise inside of their stores. And up ahead, you might be able to see the Dillards in the distance. That is part of the Westridge Mall. Coming back out onto Wanamaker, heading south as I was before, and I'll show you the rest of the shopping. On the right, that used to be Talbert's. It's now going to be a Discount Tire along with a GameStop that is still here. There is a IHOP that is in front of the Westridge Mall. One of The Demise that was on this strip has now closed, so they're getting most of the business along with Perkins, the other breakfast establishment. And we're going to show you just quickly how easy it is to drive along the strip here in Topeka if you want to go shopping. And there is one of everything. So here's an Olive Garden on your right. They have a Longhorn. We have a Longhorn Steakhouse, a Red Lobster, and this is all on this side of the street. There's been a lot of construction going on around Topeka. The infrastructure of the roads and the water lines are really old and they need to be redone. So there's been a lot of construction all over the place. Here we are on 21st Street. We have a Nothing But Cakes. We have a Diamonds by Design, Red Wing Shoes, FedEx, Papa John's, and AT&T, Success Vision. There is a Lens Crafters actually in the Westridge Mall still. There is a Chuck E. Cheese that is still operating. And then we have this small break where there is no shopping. There's just some residential areas through here, which is kind of unusual. But that's the way the road was set up. And then it breaks down again into a small shopping area once we get past this light. There's lots of churches also all over. There's a Catholic church on this road as well, Christ the King, with a Catholic school. And now we're getting back into where you'll see some more shopping. Here's the Topeka Center, the rehab hospital. And there's an urgent care run by the University of Kansas healthcare system. They have mainly the concession throughout Kansas, it seems like, for healthcare. I guess they've taken over most of the establishments. It used to be St. Francis Hospital, now it's the University of Kansas St. Francis campus. University of Kansas St. Francis campus. And here's Big O Tires. So this light up ahead is basically where 29th comes in, and this is where I find that most of the shopping basically stops after this. It's just all residential and it's getting more rural. The main food store in Topeka, I would say, is the Dillards chain, which is actually owned or part of Kroger chain. And here we also have a store, and there's only one of them. It's called Hy-Vee. I'm going to drive past the front of it. It's very expensive. I'm not sure how they stay in business, but they do. It's a beautiful store inside. I mean, I cannot fault them. They have a beautiful store. And they also have what is a Wahlburgers, which is the Wahlberg Brothers hamburger stands, but there's hamburgers are like between $15 and $20. So I can't fathom paying that much for a hamburger that I haven't cooked myself with, the top end meat. But they're here, and people come here to Hy-Vee. Like I said, they've yet to go out of business. It's a beautiful store inside. So it's just one of the other little unusual things in Topeka that I've never seen anywhere else, is a very high-end fast food restaurant inside of a supermarket. On the right, here's a restaurant, and you can't maybe see it too well. It's called Jefferson's. They used to sell fried oysters. They always ran out of them. Now they discontinued on the menu. Not sure why. So we kind of stopped going there since my husband liked fried oysters. We have liquor stores that are open 7 days a week here. They're pretty numerous. This is Devlin's on the right. It's very nice inside. And we're going now heading north on Wanamaker. I'm going to show you what we have on this side of the road, because we do have quite a bit of shopping, one of everything. So if you're in need of something, you probably will be able to find it here. What we don't have is a Marshalls or a Home Goods. We do have TJ Maxx, Dollar Trees, Dollar Generals. We don't have Family Dollar on this strip at all. Target is not really a super Target. It has some food, but I do not consider it a super Target at all. It's fairly small, the food section. And Walmart is always everywhere, like I said. And here is the section where there is mostly residential off of Wanamaker, and some communities that are very lovely. If you drive down them, they're very lovely. And as you get closer to 21st Street is where we end up in the shopping district again. So here you'll find Planet Fitness. We have a number of gyms. We have Planet Fitness, Go Law Fitness. We have Genesis Fitness. So if you're into going to the gym, you have a choice of gyms here for sure. This is a shopping center that has Ashley Home Store and the Planet Fitness. There is a Dollar Tree here, the TJ Maxx, Famous Footwear. There's an independent clothing store for women called Bling. There is a Buckle, a Cato, and the Target. And we even have now a Crumbles cookie company. So that's interesting to know. It's a nice shopping center. One of the things that you will notice here, this Bank of America is only a drive-through. You can only take money out. You cannot deposit money. There is no Bank of America actually bank in this town. You have to go to Lawrence. So if you do banking with Bank of America, you don't have a bank here to do it with. You need to go into Lawrence. I use Wells Fargo. If you have Wells Fargo, you have to go all the way to Olathe. They closed down everything here during the pandemic. So now you're forced to leave the town or change banks. So at 21st, you will find there's another shopping center that has a Michael's. We have Chipotle. We do have Ross Dress for Less. There used to be a Tuesday morning here. They closed down during the pandemic. They're not coming back. And they have a Mommy and Me that is for, I think, maternity wear and young children. And we do have a couple of Indian restaurants. We have Indian Grill and we have Globe India, and they're all pretty good and they've been around for a while, as well as we have our Hardee's and McDonald's and Burger Kings throughout the town. But Spangles is the local favorite. It's basically to this part of the world, and they have great shakes and they do great like garlic vinegar French fries. So in case you're wondering, Spangles is a really good fast food restaurant. If you've never heard of it and you want to try it, if you come into Topeka, it's well worth just a drive through to go there. We do have Sherwin-Williams paints. There's a Benjamin Moore if you like Benjamin Moore instead. We do have Home Depot and Lowe's and a Midwest favorite called Menards. Here is another shopping center called Wanamaker Hills. This one has Hobby Lobby. It used to have a Bed Bath & Beyond. Now they're gone. It has obviously Mardell, which I believe is owned by Hobby Lobby. So this is the defunct Bed Bath & Beyond. It's totally closed now. There's Mardell and Hobby Lobby that we will drive by. And then there was a Slumberland furniture store at the end of this strip mall. We're going to go around and I'll show you. So Slumberland was here on the right. They went out 2 years ago, and now it's going to become a Burlington. outlet store. The shopping center also has a Petco, a Five Below, an Ulta, an Old Navy, and a DSW. So if you do need shoes or you're looking for something different, there's, other than Sephora, you can go to Ulta. If you don't want to go to Dillards for shoes, you can go to DSW. There's also a Carnival and a Famous Footwear, like I said before, for shoes. And so you do, again, have a little bit of everything. You're not totally, without shopping, but it's not going to be the high end. You're not going to be looking at the, Louis Vuitton style stuff here, unless you go maybe to Dillard's. One thing, of course, you'll always find is auto zones and advanced auto parts all over cities like this. We do not have inspection laws here in Kansas, so you can drive your car in any shape, way, or form. It can be balding tires, bad windshield wipers, no catalytic converter, there's no emissions testing. So Advanced Auto Parts, O'Reilly, and Riley Auto Parts, and AutoZone are going to make out well because people are always fixing their cars. We are getting towards the end of the main shopping district on Wanamaker. This is 17th, and this is where there's a Best Buy that you can go to, and Leslie's Pool Supply, Smoke Shop, some other obscure little places here, Mattress Firm. There's always a David's Bridal, there's a Men's Warehouse here, but this is probably getting towards the very end of the shopping that most people would do if they're just looking for clothing. This is the defunct Demise is on the right. That's gone. And if we proceed under 470, which is the overpass, you can get up to there's a Home Depot and a Boot Barn, and unfortunately there is a Quality Inn, and unfortunately next to that is a defunct hotel that's just sitting there boarded up. It looks horrible. I don't know why it's not taken down and torn down, but these things will sit here. It's been like that for 2 years. So I'm not really sure what the game plan is. I'm not sure who owns it. I'm not sure why it's not being torn down, but I don't think it's a good thing for the Dick's and the Home Depot that's behind there that has, shopping. There's been incidences in that parking lot once or twice, so I'm not sure if there are squatters or anybody hanging out in that defunct hotel. It's hard to say, but it is what it is. So we're going to be driving past, like I said, here's a Quality Inn on the right, and then next to that is this defunct hotel. It's called a Relax Inn. It's all boarded up. It just is not a pretty sight for the main drag of Topeka. I mean, when people want to come here and go shopping. And here's Spangles, like I explained to you, is a local fast food that seems to be a favorite of everybody's. They have good shakes and stuff. So, and there's a Dick's Sporting Goods right across from the Academy, of course. So, that's the typical way that most of these, establishments do their, marketing, I guess. But we have a ton of Freddy's also. Freddy's steak burgers and custard throughout Topeka. There's a couple that I know of. So here we are coming to 10th, and this is basically the end of the shopping district for Topeka. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a like, a share, a thumbs up, and subscribe. I tried to give you a basic overview of the main shopping drag. There are other little offshoots, and there's other little shopping areas that you can go to throughout Topeka. So I don't want to say that this is the total shopping area. There are plenty of other little strip malls throughout Topeka that you can go shopping that have independent stores or independent coffee houses. We do have like a Plato's Closet and things like that in Topeka. So if you'd like this video, give it a like, a share, a thumbs up, and subscribe. And I'll see you next time. Thanks so much for watching. Bye from Topeka.